Jay-Z lives in New Jersey. Beyonce mom admits that Jay-Z lives in New Jersey. Why is that so important, everybody? This is Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil, and I'm going to tell you why. It's important. It's for those who know about myself and Rymir Satterthwaite's case in New Jersey. It was this whole big deal on Mr. Carter not having property holdings in the state of New Jersey, which affected the results of our case regarding the paternity issue, in addition to all the other issues that came out of the statement saying I don't have properties. So once Mr. Carter, and these are allegations that we have against him regarding not having properties in New Jersey, once he said that back in 2012, and also throughout all the way up to 2022, but going back all the way back when it all started, it was important for us to show that he did have properties. We brought certified deeds and certified tax records with the New Jersey seal on it. Yes, we did, y'all. But now, today, the 27th of April in 2025, Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother, has submitted or released her book. And in this book, she talks about her daughter. She talks about her life. She talks about a lot of stuff. I didn't get a copy. Some people have posted pages of her book out there. So now we see, when we look at what I want to show you, a page out of her book someone wrote or had and sent to us regarding that she's admitting that Jay-Z lived and still is probably got properties there because he hasn't sold them, lived in New Jersey. According to her, in her book, she said that they went and picked him up in his New Jersey location. Well, it makes sense to me because there were certified deeds with his name on it. New Jersey at one point had a car in his name, right? A car, everybody. And then, of course, I said they were certified deeds. But if you look here at this third paragraph, I think there's 1, 2, this is the third paragraph here, where it says he was in the city. He was in the city, and we picked him up to go to his apartment in New Jersey to play with him, to play the completed album in sequence to hear his thoughts. This is what it said. This is a smash, Jay said. So I just want to come on here and let everybody know that we knew this all along. And guess what? New Jersey knew too. For whatever reason, they made a decision to follow along with going against the law and making someone submit to the courts if they have connections with the state regarding property or some other types of ways you can be connected to the state, that you're going to ignore it or not use it as a valid argument or way of connecting the person so that the state can have jurisdiction to ask that person a question. In our case, we were trying to deal with the paternity issue then, but before we can get to paternity, we were dealing with the fact that he and his attorneys were saying he had no contacts with the state of New Jersey, which we knew was absurd. Not just untruthful, because we believe that. That's our belief. But absurd, because you had motor vehicles that had a connection with him regarding a car. So he had to have some sort of address. You had certified deeds. You have all these things. I'm going to show you one of the certified deeds that's public record. Right, here it is, everybody. Here's a public record on the screen. It shows the municipality of West Orange. It shows the first party is the seller and the second party. And it also shows the property transferring, real estate tax, etc. regarding it. This is public information. These were certified deeds. And guess what? It was done by an attorney. Yeah, everybody. So the whole point of coming on here is that Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother, has certified, or I won't say certified, I'll take that word back. She has confirmed that Mr. Carter, Jay-Z, lived and had an apartment in New Jersey. He had apartments and he had properties. He had a lot. We brought to court 3 properties, but we found 6. 2 were apartments in Fort Lee. So she's referring to these 2 apartments in Fort Lee because those apartments is right over the bridge. But from our understanding, prior to him getting married, these other properties we had, he was living at. And at one point he might have had his wife to be there. Nonetheless, he's had several properties in the state of New Jersey, which means he had contacts with the states, which means the court could have asked him about what we asked the court to ask him about the paternity of Rymir Satterwhite. Nonetheless, you guys already know the story. You know what happened. If you don't, Google it. Google Rymir Satterwhite's name. Google Lily Coley's name. And you'll find some of the background and history of what took place regarding that. So here we see the deed, and then I already showed you Tina Knowles' book. Apparently with this book, she's writing information to, I guess, inform people, to let people know about her daughters and the journey and what happened and what didn't happen and blah, blah, blah. And like I said, in this book, she admits, and I guess this is page 294, paragraph 1, 2, and 3 here at the top. Paragraph 3, she says in the first sentence, he, meaning she's talking about Carter, he was in the city and we picked him up to go to his apartment in New Jersey to play him the completed album in sequence to hear his thoughts regarding Beyonce. And he said, this is a smash, Jay said. Every one of these records is a smash. He spoke as a fellow artist with a drive that Suits could never understand. That's what I don't know what that means. And we left there immediately and went to the studio and they booked it. It was my first time witnessing Jay work. He didn't write anything down. He just listened to The Crazy in Love 2-3 times in a row. And we went to the mic and started rapping. He went to the mic and started rapping. Beyonce and I was dancing, screaming, throwing fists in the air. It was a solution, not a compromise of her artistry, but a doubling down. So I'm not going to know all the background with that because I'm not even going to get into that, y'all. But I'm just going to let y'all see right here. And I want to say that I'm not trying to be funny about this. People are taking the book, going to the stores that sell the book, and not buying the book. They reading stuff in the book and leaving the book there. I'm not trying to be funny, but that's what somebody posted. I'm like, whoa, why y'all doing that? So at the end of the day, they're not buying the book. They're just trying to see if the book is real, if it's honest, and if it's telling something we don't know. So Beyonce, my mom's Tina Knowles, has confirmed with us, confirmed with the world that Jay-Z, in fact, had apartments and he had houses, but we gave the court houses that he had in New Jersey, which is this one. This house here was 318 on Walker, right here in West Orange. And the other one, there's plenty others. We gave the court 3. So here, let me go back to my screen and do what I do. I'm going to show you what I need to show you. And then I was going to go and show you the other information, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get back to it. Let's see if I can, because sometimes it's real hard to get back to what you need to get back to. We're looking for the deeds, because the deeds is a big deal. That was what we used to give to the court. Can you believe it? Giving the court something and they're not even using it. That's just crazy, y'all. But I'm going to send you, I'm going to let y'all see that, and then we're going to be done with that. But the whole point was this. The whole point was that we had given the court the information and said what we said about Mr. Carter having property holdings or properties in the state of New Jersey. And Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom, confirmed it in her book on page 294. On page 294 of her book, she says they went to his apartment. And that was right around the time we did the stuff we did in terms of Rymir's case, blah, blah, blah. All it was around the same time. And the whole point is this. He had, according to the records, he had 3 properties. He had 3 properties, at least houses, that we found. And we found 2 apartments. The 2 apartments was in Fort Lee. And the, was in, the houses were in the different areas of East Orange, West Orange, that kind of thing. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. But I also wanted to show you guys the second page of this address, these property deeds. You can see what I'm trying to show you. Hold on one second, everybody, as we just try to get in here and bring it on up so everybody can see it. Because the one page I showed y'all was the one page, and that was the seller selling it to Mr. Carter. And then Mr. Carter was actually the person buying the property. So it looks like I'm going in here, but it won't take me in there for some reason. Let me go back and see what's going on here. All right, so that's not working. But the whole thing is I'm trying to just show that we had already said that Mr. Carter lived in New Jersey. We had took this information to the courts. The courts allowed him to say, according to our allegations, that he didn't have property holdings in New Jersey. But here you find his mother-in-law is clearly saying that on page 294 of her book. And as I said, some people are posting the book that I guess maybe somebody bought this, I don't know. But they sent it to us, and they screenshotted a page saying what they said. And here we are. So that's the point, right? That's the point we're trying to make. Okay, this is the reason why I couldn't get in here. All right, so this is a tax record of what I was trying to show you guys. And this is actually in 2014, but we did something in 2012 as well. But we have both things that's on our system here regarding it. Let me just see if I can bring this up. And just for you can see. I mean, it's not we don't need to really prove nothing. It is what it is. Yeah, so forth and so on. So here is the tax record. If you can see it, you should be able to see it. Let me just go over here. Yeah. That's the tax record of 318 Walker. And that's in Essex County, and it's West Orange. And this was a property Mr. Carter had obtained. And in 2012, we submitted this tax record to the New Jersey courts. And you see that it has Department of Treasury here, or the New Jersey seal. Can you believe that? So we gave that to the court. And here's Mr. Carter's name. And this is also the accounting firm. Public information. But again, I'm going to show you the actual one we gave the court, so y'all can see it. But it may not come up, but it's all on the internet because different people and reporters have submitted the information via the internet. So it's public information. I mean, tax records and deeds are public information. That's a fact, everybody. So at any rate, I was just trying to connect all the dots. And sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, so at any rate, I think if you Google this, you'll see it, and you'll get more information that you need if you're looking for it. Nonetheless, the point was well made that Mrs. Tina Knowles had confirmed what we already said, and that was the point, everybody. So we're just here to present the facts, the receipts. We're here to obviously get justice for things that may have been unlawful in the eyes of the law, and that's pretty much what we're looking for. That's pretty much what we're looking for. So we thank God for all of you. Be encouraged as we look to. I mean, sometimes when you look and see what you're trying to look and see, you can't always rely on things and people. But when we submit information and try to provide stuff for you, it's so that you can have it. You can know that you know that you know, right? So be encouraged, everybody. We look forward to talking with you soon. This is Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. And as I said, what I already said, we just show on receipts on documentation that Miss Tina Knowles has submitted regarding the properties of Mr. Carter during the same time that we had our case in New Jersey, which we already knew, but we're just doing this so that you can see it and you can understand what we might have went through regarding the courts. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's keep it real.